Using LinkedIn groups to find prospects and to build warm leads.
Welcome back to LinkedIn to Lead Generation with Hannah Tighe, our LinkedIn expert here. We're, about to be halfway through our 4-part series here using different tips and strategies about how to get top of mind and onto your ideal client's radar screen. What are we talking about in this specific episode, Hannah?
Sure. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to get some warm leads and how to find some ideal prospects using LinkedIn groups. And also just trying to shift the mindset so that you think of it more as like a mastermind group that you belong to. The groups as a mastermind group as opposed to just, a group where you drop in here and there and, you promote your crap.
That sounds excellent. So what are the specifics here? Let's break it down to a couple of bullet points so that people can really focus on what we're going to talk about.
Sure. So we're really quickly going to talk a little bit about how to find groups that your ideal prospect may be in. Okay. We are also going to talk a little bit about how to search for ideal prospects within your group. And then we are also going to talk a little bit about, like, why should I bother? Why should I bother participating? And, thought leadership and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. So let's dive in right at the top there. So, yeah, let's talk about how to find groups in general and find the right groups. How do I find the ones where I'm likely to do the best prospecting? So give us some ideas here.
Sure. So there's a couple different ways that you can find your ideal prospects in groups and what your ideal groups are. And the number one that I always tell clients is to look at some of the people that you love working with, some of your clients that you've really had a great time working with, and look to see what groups they are connected to on LinkedIn. So go to their profiles and see. Okay. And hopefully you're going to see, some groups that are, consistently showing up across the board. Okay. So those are number one groups that you definitely want to, join in on. Also, if there are groups that maybe when you do an advanced search and you find your ideal prospect, if you look at groups that they are in, again, if you consistently come across those same types of groups, those are the groups that you want to join, okay? And then besides that, you also want to do some industry-specific groups because maybe there are some people that you can trade work on, some additional, sometimes you don't specialize in everything, right? So maybe there are some people that you can collaborate with. And then, of course, just think about your ideal client and what are things that interest them. And think of those things and then join those specific groups. You don't want to just, if you're a realtor, you don't want to join a million realtor groups, You want to think a little bit.
And I think that's what a lot of people do. Yeah, I think a lot of people just join their own industry group, which is okay. That's one of your, suggestions there. But people tend to stop there. But you're making total sense when you say, look, think about the people that you're linked to that are your clients, the clients you like, and look at where they hang out where they hang out because they probably hang out with people just like them, right? So
exactly, and also,
their industry groups might be way more important.
Right, and if you have some, you also want to think a little bit about locality, like if there are some local groups that maybe you can join, and as well as, within your service area, as well as if you have alumni groups and things like that. People love to do, work with people that, are their fellow alumni. So, just thinking a little bit about outside of the box, can help when joining groups. So.
Excellent. So how do I search though? How do I use that search function in conjunction with groups? to really kind of zero in on my ideal clients and figure out where they like to hang out.
Sure. So, when you do an advanced search, okay, and there are people that come up that look like they fit, you click on their profile and whatever, you can see the groups that they've already joined. Okay. And then if it's an open group, then you can actually go into that group and see how active it is. There's the ability when you click on that group to see some of the stats and see how active it is. And if it's a large group and it's pretty active and people are commenting and whatever, that's a group that you would want to join.
Right, yeah, because I've certainly joined groups where there's basically nothing going on in that space.
And you don't want to be in those.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or it's
right,
just all
they don't do much for you.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
or nothing. You know, I've literally been in a couple where there's nothing going on, which brings us around to the last bullet point here, which is, well, you know, there's nothing going around because nobody's getting involved. So why should I actually get involved and engage in the groups that I join here? What's that going to do for me?
Okay, so when you actually are commenting on discussions and things like that, believe it or not, there is the most people, when they set up their how to get group alerts, okay, they'll maybe get it once a week or however they want to do it. But when there is activity, it actually sends an email out to the people that are part of this group. So if you've actually commented on a group, every time someone else, a group discussion, every time someone comments, you know, you can go back and see like what they've done. So it's like constantly
Right.
keeping you in top of mind position with people in their email. They don't even have to be on LinkedIn. So that's like beautiful right there. Okay, so if you start a discussion, if you do these things, it all shows up, which is fantastic. So if you start a discussion or if you comment, you know, that's a great way to stay in front of people. But also when you're doing that and you're contributing and you're saying, you know, smart things and you're giving value back to people, you know, people are really going to start looking at you and saying, wow, this person really knows what they're talking about, okay? And again, they are going to then want to connect to you, or they're going to feel much more confident in actually trying to, you know, refer you or whatever it is. So you want to make sure that you're doing that. And also, when you're constantly working and commenting and doing all those kinds of things, it just helps you to show up better in search. Like LinkedIn likes you to, you know, connect to people. The more you're so more people are going to connect to you, which again is going to help you show up in search. And then just all that whole discussion, it's just going to help you to overall to show up better. So you want to just
Right.
Sure
So the act of engaging, the act of posting things or commenting or starting a discussion gives me visibility. You know, what I'm saying is a way for me to start showing some credibility, right? I'm getting some traction because I'm hopefully saying some smart things that are relevant to the conversation that's going on, and I can, you know, basically in the conversation or in the flow of posting things, I can, you know, let people know what I do. You know, so it's a pretty powerful thing.
And the other thing is that you can actually go into the group itself and click on members and go to the search bar, and you can type in like the title of the type of person that you would want to connect to in your group. And if you're in there consistently commenting, okay, most likely you're showing up as one of the top contributors in the group. And if this person is active, you could send them a message and say, hey, I noticed that you and I are, even if they're not actively in the group conversation, you could just say,
wait,
hey,
you want me to talk to people again, Hannah?
Yes.
You want me to actually talk to real? No, I don't want to do that. Come on.
This is your ideal prospect because you've already put in like the title. You know that they match the title. You know that it's like someone that you want to connect to. And you can just say, hey, listen, I'm really active in this. You know, I'd like to, you know, connect with you. I know that we're part of a group together. I really love talking about this and that.
It's not really a cold call, right? I mean, we have something in common. We have something to talk about. We've already crossed paths, so now we can actually, you know, get into a conversation that's pretty easy to get into. It's not like, oh my God, I got to pick up, you know, and cold call my ideal client. So yeah, people should probably do this. I should probably do more of this.
And you can see even if you when you do that search for your ideal client, you can even see some of the activity that they've done, and you can say, hey, I noticed that you talked about this. I know, you know, I have a couple ideas that can help you with this issue, or whatever it is, you know, so you can kind of comment on the activity that they've done as well. You're just talking. You're talking. You're like, hey, I noticed when you meet someone, you're like, oh, I know that you really like whatever. I like that too. So
we're gonna have to do an episode on basic conversation skills, right?
Yeah, exactly,
just so people feel comfortable doing that human thing, not just that techie kind of thing. All right, Hannah, I'm going to wrap us up for now here. I mean, this has been a great episode. As always, I'm learning more and more depth about the ways I can be using LinkedIn. So what we covered today was, you know, how to find groups where your ideal prospects might be hanging out, how to then use search to really, target those ideal clients. And then we're trying to answer the question why you should really bother to get involved, to engage, to post in discussions, to comment in discussions, because there's a lot in it for you. And you might actually, have to talk to a real live human being once in a while, but hey, that's what gets you paid in the end, right? So do it. So join us for the rest of this series. We're doing a 4-part series in total, all about getting on your ideal client's radar using LinkedIn with our LinkedIn expert, Hannah Tighe here. And a couple more episodes on this theme coming up as part of the whole series in LinkedIn for lead generation here with Hannah Tighe. So until the next episode, Hannah, see you real soon.